I am. The good thing is that the Mercury retrograde is finishing tomorrow, so it's an exciting, exciting news. And Jupiter is direct too, so that's also good. I think all the planets are direct now, so it's good for the new year for the planets to be direct. But particularly this night, still Mercury retrograde, so I mean, up to you. Uh, but it should be a good night. I hope you're excited. The good thing about New Year is because so many people are so excited and so happy, and all this positive energy collectively gather together and makes us very strong, very powerful. And that's morning, and that's a good thing. That's a really really good thing about New Year. So you like it's a good thing to plan to write wishes because there is a lot of energy, positive energy in the collective whatever our differences are, maybe religion, maybe money, maybe anything else. But for New Year, I think everybody in every point of the world, everybody is kind of happy and expecting some kind of miracle. So it's a good thing. It's like we collectively make this day powerful. It's not the energies of the planets that make it powerful, but we as people make it powerful. So I hope you're all excited and already preparing your plans for new 2024. Not yet, but it's going to be a dragon year, and dragon year is like kind of active. So it's not like a rabbit year when it's like a little timid, a little quiet. It's a dragon year is kind of aggressive, so to say. So should be good. Should be good. I'm excited, but it's not yet. The dragon year starts, I think, in the end of January. So, but our year starts now, so it's good. So I wanted to talk today about the resourceful state because I think this is super important to start the year right. Yeah, it should be fun. Some people are afraid of dragon years and tiger years because they are very aggressive, but I think it's actually good because sometimes we need a little aggression, like we need to shake up to get something new in life, to get some new activities, some new energy, so to say. And in those events when these things happen, usually that's when we're like when we becoming better, when we have new opportunities. Like I remember, yeah, I was making this analogy. So if you have a pot of pasta, right? So there is pasta that lays inside, there is pasta that is on top, there is pasta that's on the bottom, like all soggy. There is one that is inside, all warm, but never changed, nothing. And when something like this aggressive comes in life, it's like that all pasta is getting shaked up, and nobody knows who's going to go. You can go all the way from the bottom to the top just in seconds because of this shake up. So I like years like this. I do. Maybe because I don't have much masculine energy in me, so I like when there's masculinity outside forces me to kind of to be proactive and do something. So, anyways, let's get to the resourceful state. So today I wanted to talk about resourceful state. Why? Because I think us as women, it's extremely important to be mindful of how we feel at all times. Now, masculine power for men especially is outside. So if they need to change something, if they need to get something, they go and do it. They go and get it. They go and change it. They basically um, kind of, so their strength is outside. So they don't need to kind of control their mind and how they're breathing and what is inside, what they're thinking, because usually they're too proactive to kind of to sit and wait, so to say. So it is their strengths, it is their advantage, right? So men, they are more focused on what they can get in the moment, and they can get themselves. So not like women. Now, since we're here studying femininity, then for us it's important to be mindful of our strengths, and our strengths is our inner state, our energetic inner state. So whether you want it or not, if you are in the feminine energy, and for men included, also if they're in feminine energy, or if you are inspired to be in feminine energy and get in life everything in feminine energy, then you should be mindful of your state at all times. So what you think, how you feel, and what your thought process is. So, and for that, everybody should have a resourceful state. A lot of mm, different concepts call it differently, but I call it resourceful state from NLP, and um, it's working for me. So, what is a resourceful state? Resourceful state is basically something that is it's our ideal situation, but it's not ideal situation that some people might think. It's ideal situation that's truly ideal for our subconscious mind, and I will explain that. And before I will start that, I also want to say that a woman is not only should keep this state for herself, but also for people in her surroundings. So her family, her husband, her kids, maybe even her, I don't know, relatives or friends or whoever she's surrounded by. She needs to make sure that she not only keeping this resourceful state for herself, but also for others. So because masculine energy is so active and like here and there, sometimes they lose vision. And this is up to a woman to like, okay, it's a shaky period right now, but our vision is still the same. And, and I know that we will get there. So her state is so secure that she's able to turn the man around her around to make sure that they are doing what they need to do for her to stay in that resourceful state. So it is important. Remember that woman is a power bank kind of for the family, and for her it's important to stay this way. Like I heard once, a man that rules the country needs a woman that can rule herself. Also, there is another one. A woman, no, a man rules the world. Man rules the world. Women rule men, and hormones rule women. So something like that. So basically, if you want to have a super powerful man, that influential, that leads, you need to make sure that you can be that strong inside as well, so he can lead the country. You need to inside do the same thing, so you are not afraid of nothing bothers you, you're not scared of any kind of changes, there's no fears, no worries, you're just basically strong. And how you get it through resourceful state. So now, why is it important to have the resourceful state? Because we attract everything vibrational, right? So if everything comes into our vibration, me and somebody else can have the same wishes, but we might not be equally matching the wish, right? So, for example, I live here in sunny Arts, right, in Miami. So I live in a nice place. But I know people that live for free in nicer places than me. And you will say, well, how is it possible? Well, it's possible. I know one girl, she lives, somebody asked her to sit the apartment. They have plants in the apartment, so they asked her, they actually allowed her to live there for free, just as long as she waters the plants. So she lives in a beautiful place facing the ocean, and basically just need to make sure that the plants are watered periodically. So that's the first one. And the second one, the guy, his friend actually went out of the country for work, and he also left him his apartment. So it's, you see, now there are people also that I know, unfortunately not so many, that are constantly complaining. Like I know this couple, they rented the apartment, one bedroom, for almost $4,000, and it's like they have construction all over them, so it's constant noise. So it seems like they have this. They're supposed to have beautiful experience, beautiful apartment, but they attracted the apartment. So we all, me, this couple, that girl, that guy, we all live in the same kind of neighborhood. So but we all, our experiences different for every single one of us, because our vibrations are different. So whatever when we approach looking for the apartment in a particular way, in a certain way, that's what we got matched, right? So we were on this vibrational state when we started looking for the apartment, and we got exactly what we were. So that lady that got it for free, and the guy, they probably were over here. So they were very strong. They energetically knew that they can get it for free, and they got it. Now the couple probably was thinking like this: oh my God, this is so expensive right now in Miami. I don't know what we're going to get. Probably something not so good for huge amount. And that's exactly what they got. Now, I I will even go a little further to the back. Like I remember I came in 2020 here. That's how I decided to move before it became even hot. I actually came in 2019, and I look at the apartments. They were very cheap, so cheap you could imagine. Like I could have rented one bedroom right here for like 700. And I searched and I was like, that's perfect. So I started kind of pre-planning to move here. I came in October 2020, and I look at the apartments. They still were cheap. They were like 1,100 for rent, which I thought was very affordable. Or because I was in a very strong, resourceful state. I was not desperate. I still had my apartment in New York. I had money, so I was not really like worried. I had a very strong, resourceful state, super strong. So by the time I started, I thought that I will be looking, I will still be good. Now, what happened then? Then I went to travel, and I traveled for a couple of months. And when I came, I will start to worry because my apartment in New York, I already gave it away. And I was like, okay, I should have probably worried about it. I should have looked for apartment in Miami, but I didn't. So my resourceful state started dropping, and which was not good. So what happened? When it started dropping, I started worried. So I started attracting what was not so good. So it was still good, but it was not as good as it was before, like 2 months prior to that. So I attracted the apartment. I got the nice apartment for kind of nice price, but still, I could have got a better deal if I would be stronger, if I would be higher. So on this example, I hope you understand how important it is to keep the resourceful state at all times and to keep it strong, not to keep it like minimum, like bare minimum. So now you would ideally you would need to live out of the state and make all the decisions and communicate with everybody through this state. For example, if right now my neighbors will start banging on the wall, I probably would be a little disappointed because I live here. So, and I could not just leave my apartment and go somewhere, right? Now, if I would have $10 million in my on my savings that I can spend as I want, right? They are not tied in anywhere. Then I would probably be like, okay, I think it's time to move. Thank you, my neighbors, for showing me the sign that it's time for me to move. So I would be in my reaction would be completely different. And I hope you understand this difference. So basically, so now since I am strong and I'm like, okay, so I think it's time to move, they are not going to be bothering me no more. They won't be bothering anybody anymore because that action didn't trigger me. Now, if I would be like, oh my God, the neighbors becoming noisy and noisy every day, and what I'm supposed to do? I mean, I have nowhere to go. Like if I would be like this, they would continue having noise on and on and on. And how do I know? Because I went through this in New York, and I know for a fact that it was my thought process. And when I changed the thought process, it became quiet, and then I moved so completely. But what I want to say, the resourceful state it must be at all times. So you could not be in resourceful state for 3 minutes and be done for the day. So it has to become a habit and something that you constantly return yourself into. Now, I would say that resourceful state is even more important than writing wishes and plans. I will tell you why. Because on that resourceful state, you're attracting everything that corresponds to this resourceful state. Everything. Like I remember a long time ago at my work, I had this mother and daughter. They were very wealthy. They were not from this country, but they had a lot of money. I guess I'm not sure from where. The husband was a politician in his country. Not going to tell which one. It doesn't even matter. The point is that they were very wealthy, and the girl, she was the only child, so she was pretty spoiled, but spoiled in a good way. I mean, she was not like nasty spoiled. She was really actually very nice, which that's what resources give you. You are a nice person to others. You are not snob because she had it since childhood, so she's used to it, right? So she said, it's just everybody is just so nice. Why? Because she's nice and she's confident. She knows that if everybody is not nice, she can just leave New York at that time it was and go somewhere else. She was strong, and that's why she was attracting from a strong position all the strengths, right? So so you have to be in that state all the time. Now, you to get the resourceful state, we're going to get there. You need to make sure that this is the right resourceful state, that the resourceful state is right for you. It's truly what would make you power. Like, for example, I had a friend. Why I'm talking about her, because she reached out to me a couple days ago, and she said, "Oh, your YouTube channel is growing. You probably will get popular faster than me." Now, why would she say that? A few years ago, when I was not even thinking about YouTube, she actually started her YouTube channel, and we were talking about that time about resourceful state, something not like resourceful state, but something like that, like vibrations and this and that. And she said, "Mom, I know I will be happy when I will have 100,000 subscribers on YouTube." And I'm like, "Okay, what are you going to do with them?" Look, like, I don't. I understand that there's some people, they do some kind of entertainment videos, and then I guess they sell something. I'm not sure. Like, but anyway, so that was her goal, right? And she didn't get there yet. I'm not sure even she's doing or not. Didn't ask her, but the point is that that was not her resourceful state. She thought that she would be super happy when she will get to her resourceful state, and she wasn't. She wasn't, and she didn't even get there because it was not an ultimate goal. It was not an ultimate happiness for her. She thought that it would be, but it's not. Um, I will give you my example. At one point in my life, I thought that my resourceful state would be if I'm married. For some reason, I thought that it would just be, so I married once, I married twice, I married third, and I'm like, okay, something is wrong, you know? So, okay, you married once and you're not happy. Then you're like, okay, so maybe something is wrong with the guy. Then you married second time and you start doubting, maybe something is wrong with me. And then so basically my issue was I was marrying for wrong reasons. So all those marriages could have worked, but I was marrying for wrong reasons. Now, then I decided, so I was looking for security basically. So I didn't get the security through the guy. Then I decided, okay, then I'm going to start making a lot of money. So, but again, I was not, I didn't achieve my success that much. And I was not happy. So because my ultimate state, my resourceful state was not getting married or getting rich. My resourceful state was getting security around myself. So I want you, from my example, I want you to understand what is your resourceful state. So how to get to the resourceful state? I will tell you how. You need to ask yourself questions. So, for example, what would be for you important right now? So, somebody like that friend of mine might say, I would want to have 100,000 subscribers on YouTube." Then she will ask herself, well, why do I need those 100,000 subscribers? I mean, I don't know her, her idea. Some people do it because they want others to see them, they're ego driven, right? So they want to be in the spotlight. Some maybe want to be more helpful or to bring something into the society, kind of. Some want for more publicity, or maybe more advertising, or maybe to kind of make money. So you need to find what is the reason behind those, and then after that. So, for example, let's imagine that it would be ego, right? So I want well. It's so not me, but okay. So let's do it for example's sake. So I want 100,000 subscribers because I want to be popular. Oh my God, this is so opposite to me. But okay, so fine, let's play with it. So now, why do I want to be popular? Like, what's the reason? Because there is always something. So probably I didn't had enough love. Maybe I was like a middle child and I didn't get enough love from my parents. So now I want to be shining and accepted and knowing that everybody loves me. So kind of like that. So what is my resourceful state is to be loved, that I'm loved and I'm admired by everybody and praised by everybody. I'm not sure. So this would be the resourceful state is that I am loved. Now, how to kind of how to imagine, right? So imagine yourself that you are loved by a man, like a very, very powerful man, and you are loved by him, like he really worships you. Now, he not only loves you, but he is also tells everybody how great you are. Like, you guys going out, and he's like, "Oh my God, my wife, she's so beautiful," and you just not only loved, you're shining like a star. So you feel really, really good. This is your resourceful state. So it wasn't really the 100,000 subscribers that you needed. You needed this recognition, validation, and love. Ideally, you should be getting it from yourself, but okay, it's a little hard. So we're going to imagine that you already have that with somebody. So you would need to have constantly, because if you will be imagining that you have it from subscribers, it won't be consistent, because who knows whether you will get it or not. It's like like a like too far away to constantly be in this state. You need to something to be right now, right close, right? Or let's imagine another situation. Um, let's imagine. Let's imagine that I want to win $1 million in lottery, right? Which is partially true. So let's imagine. So why do I want to win the lottery? Well, some people want to win because they want to have a lot of money. For what? So, and like I told you before, I want to have a project, a history project. It's just my kind of my thing, right? I wouldn't even probably tell anybody. Now, some people want because they want to kind of buy things to others and a little show off maybe. So the different reasons are so different, and you need to find out what is your reason behind this, because this is not the million that you really want. You want something else. Now imagine now that you have that million that you want. Let's say million is not that much. I mean, we live in Miami. Let's do 10 million. $10 million you want. Let's imagine you want 20 million, because after taxes and lump sum and all this, so you will get 10 million. So this is 10 million that are coming to your bank. How would you feel? How would you feel? Like you would really feel very strong, very confident, very probably like you don't care much, relaxed. Your cortisol will drop. I mean, you still will have to kind of manage the money. Obviously, you can't just leave them there, but your cortisol level will be a little like a little lower. Now you need to make sure that this thought, right, about that you want $10 million, or that you are with the man that worships and admire you, will bringing you like lightness and pleasure. So you need to feel pleasure and you need to feel love. So your whole body should be activated, and freedom. So you need to feel like your body completely free, and then you need to feel love and pleasure. And you will know whether it's your resourceful state or not when you will start feeling that. Trust me. Like I had a client and she wanted to get married. So I for some reason thought that she doesn't want to get married. I sensed it. And based on her planets, I didn't thought that she would get like that she wanted to get married. She had too much air. She wanted to be free. So we started talking, and I said, "What do you feel when you think about getting married?" And so she was explaining to me. So long story short, she was basically like pushing yourself, like it was not easy for her. And I said, "Why? I mean, you get married. That's what you wanted. You keep telling this for me for 2 years now." And she's like, "Well, I don't know, maybe because I never been married, maybe I'm scared, maybe this and that." So this is not her resourceful state. Now, why does she want to get married? Well, I'm not going to tell you the reasons, but what her reasons, right? Because I mean, but what could have been the reasons? Society, for example, maybe cultural, maybe people are just pushing it on you. Maybe all your friends are married and have kids, and you're here by yourself, right? And you, but this is not your resourceful state. It could be your resourceful state if you will imagine yourself super happy. So like with her, I know she was always imagining like a man that is very successful and very wealthy, which is okay, normal. I mean, in Miami, we live in Miami, so 75% of people are like this. So okay, so well, at least in Miami Beach, I guess. So anyway, so this was her kind of this was the resourceful state when the husband is successful, powerful, wealthy. That she has a huge rock on her finger. That was her resourceful state. When she was thinking like that, from that state, she felt really good. She didn't had no fears, no squeezed emotions. Now, why was it different? Because sometimes she didn't believe that she could have such a man. That's the issue. Like the same with the people who play the lotto, right? And me included before. When I thought about lotto, I would squeeze like this. Why? Because I thought it's hard to win big sums of money. I thought it's almost impossible. And this is not a resourceful state. This is the opposite to resourceful state. Resourceful state is, what if? What if I win those $20 million? Then what? Now I can act as as powerful as I can. So you need to find what is your resourceful state. But remember, your feeling should be very strong. Your feeling will not. You won't be. You won't miss it. Kind of. You should know. But I could not make a resourceful state for you, because you all need to kind of have it. You only you know what moves you, kind of. For example, when there is a little kid, right, and somebody bullies the little kid, and the parents say, "Don't worry, when you will grow up, you will be so strong. Then you will answer to this bully one day," right? So for the kid, this idea of he will grow up and be strong is his resourceful state. So so he knows that one day he will be strong, and he will be now talking to this bully from this resourceful state. When the bully will start kind of talking to him, he'll be on in his conscious mind, he will know, and subconscious, okay, one day I will be strong and powerful, and this guy will get it. So I believe that within like a couple of weeks, that bully will stop even bothering him, because he's that strong inside. He has that strong resourceful state. So now we are not kids, and probably our parents are not going to do it for us, but we can do for ourselves the same resourceful state, and then talk from it. I remember when I started playing the lotto. So I had a meeting. Yeah, I remember it was my first time I bought a ticket, and I went to the meeting. So basically, I had to go to the meeting. I was a little early, so I stopped by to get the coffee at this corner store, and they had a lot of tickets. It was like a huge some Powerball, I think, or something big, right? So I bought the ticket and I went to the meeting. And while I was waiting for the meeting, I was imagining in my head what I'm going to do. So I'm going to win this much money. What I'm going to do with them. I already pre-planned my whole life. So on that meeting went so smooth, half an hour, and we were out and we were free for the day, because I was that strong in my belief. Like I already was on top of the world. This meeting doesn't bother me. Usually those meetings would go for 3 hours. They were so boring. I would come out with the hugest headache and like a lot of thoughts in my mind. And I was kind of prepared. And I think I bought that ticket just to kind of distract me. And I started dreaming and thinking about what I'm going to do with the winnings. And the meeting went smoothly well, because I was in a much higher state for myself, right? So so that's basically it. We need to create that resourceful state. For somebody, it might be so. For everybody, it could be different. Maybe for somebody, it would be to become super popular. Maybe to get married, and to get married really well. Maybe to have property. Some people need security. So maybe imagine that you have already five units in Miami Beach, and you can rent me one. Or maybe you have so whatever else could be. Or maybe you are super healthy, or maybe you have a unique like a super nice figure. I actually had somebody. This was so funny. I had a colleague, so we were in the same kind of study group, and when we were going through a resourceful stage, she's a little chubby. So she was imagining, actually she was chubby, she's not anymore, so I guess for her resourceful state became a real state. But anyways, so at that time she was imagining herself very slender. She would go on a dating site and she would start talking to men from her resourceful state, and her resourceful state was imagining that she's slender. So how would she talk to men when she's slender and beautiful? And she was talking like that. Now, when she was going on the dates, it was a little different, because obviously she knew, and her subconscious knew, that she was a little heavy. But still, she was very, very powerful when she was talking to them offline, because she was in her resourceful state. So that's how important it is. And she was attracting different men. She couldn't keep them because she was not strong enough and didn't keep the resourceful state all the time, but she could attract them. So that's why I hope I motivated all of you to find your resourceful state. So how to find it? You need to find what is your number one priority right now. Like, what are you thinking most of the time? What is the hardest thing for you to get right now? So find it for yourself, for you particularly, not for not for what society says, not what what you think you should do. Like I should be thinking about kids right now. Instead, I'm thinking about other things. But it doesn't matter to me. I know what I need. Because if you will decide that you want to get married when you are not thinking about getting married, your subconscious is still working on its own. So it won't work. You need to close this need right now. There's like an open wound is bleeding, and you're thinking about it all the time. So find what is what is what is super important for you right now, what occupies your mind rent free all the time. Like you wake up, you think about it, you go to sleep, you think about it, you throughout the day you're cutting vegetables and you think about it, like something that constantly you return again and again and again to the same thing. So, and then when you will realize what it is, then you will need to find out what would be the ideal situation, not the situation that you will do from this moment. Like so for example, if my resourceful state is to have $10 million, right, I wouldn't be okay. So how to close this? Well, if I would be getting 4,000 a month, then this is not. I want $10 million. What is 4,000 has to do? I'm I'm trying to close the gap. So this is 10 million. This is me here, and I'm trying to kind of, well, I don't really have 10 million, but I can have this amount of money. Yes, it's good for sanity, but it's not good for resourceful state. My resourceful state is 10 million, and that's it. I need to be like focused on those 10 million, and then 4,000 will come easier because I'll be focusing on 10 million. So you need to see bigger picture. Resourceful state is very big. It's like the maximum that your energy can expand to. So it's the biggest. So you don't limit yourself. Don't tell yourself, 2,000 would be good. Yes, it will be inspiring, but it won't be as inspiring as your big resourceful state. Like for example, it would be good to get married. Well, any guy should do as long as he has a job. Now, is it truly that what you want? I mean, do you really want to kind of to have bare minimum, or maybe you want the guy that's super successful, that makes 500,000? I mean, that's very achievable. It's a lot of people make 500,000 right now. Wouldn't you rather want that? So you need to go to for something big. So you find what is bleeding, what is like really really hurting right now. Then you need to find what is the best case, like scenario, right? Best case scenario. So you need to find. So for example, you want to get married, right? And then you go into France for vacation, and you meet their count or some aristocrat, right, with his chateau and with a lot of inherited money. I don't know if they still have these aristocrats. I'm sure they are. So, and he just he's young and handsome, your age, and he just happened to be ready to get married, right? And he doesn't want to marry within his circle. He wants somebody outside, and he sees you're so bright, and you're so educated, and you're from different culture, and he thinks you guys are going to be good fit, right? He ready to have kids, you ready to have kids, perfect, you get married. So this would be the best case scenario. I mean, I don't know, maybe you would want to marry a sheikh, but for me, I mean, this would be a really good scenario, best case scenario, so to say, right? Because I don't want to marry a sheikh, I don't want to be in public eye like that, but I would want to live really good, comfortable, aristocratic life. That would be ideal. So this would be my resourceful state if relationship would be a priority for me right now. You need to find what is your pain, and then find the best case scenario, not the best you can do right now, but the best case scenario, because it will give you superpower, Like for example, when I still was working finances, when I had a hard day, I would think like this: oh, that's okay. I will buy a ticket. I will win the lotto, and then I can do whatever I want. I never thought I would be doing this, but I always thought that I would be. I had, I love history a lot, so I thought that I would have this my historic project, which hopefully one day I will. It's a restoration project. So I was always thinking like this. Okay, so that's fine. Whatever they can tell me, whatever. Anyways, I will win, and I will be wealthy, and I will. So I felt very powerful, and being in that state for maybe half a year. I think it took me half a year, and I was I was asked to go with a really good payout. So it was good. That resourceful state brought me to something new, yes, it didn't brought me exactly to where I wanted to be, but again, I was not as strong as I am right now even. So it's important to have that resource. So you find where you're bleeding, what is the pain right now, right? And you find what is the best case scenario. Now, it's ideal would be if you write it down, like really, really write it down. So, and then you need to stay in this. Now, how can you stay? So it's basically your focus. You need to make sure that you're getting back again and again and again. And you need to start talking to your mind. Something like this. Yes, it might not be true, but why not to dream? Why not to allow myself to kind of dream? And everything is possible. Like, I will just entertain this idea and keep entertaining until, even if you don't get that aristocrat, French aristocrat, you might go to Palm Beach and get a senator's son here. So something similar to where your resourceful state is, you will be able to get. Now, so you need to stay in it. Also, what could be helpful to stay in the state? It could be vision boards. Some people do vision boards, right? So you can do them. You can repeat affirmations all the time. Like you can say something like, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm married to a French aristocrat, or something. So, but it needs to be something that would return you to this, like return you to this feelings and emotions, right? You can do also ask formations. So you're asking yourself, now it is so like how did I manage to get to this? How did I manage to get married to a French aristocrat? Like this. So you basically ask in your mind, and your mind is like, oh my god, I need to make sure to deliver it, right? So you can do visualizations. My god, I never knew it's such a hard word to say. So you can just sit when you meditate and just imagine yourself, just play with your mind, like allow it to kind of move around and see, like, what would you do when you marry that French aristocrat? Are you going to make parties in your chateau? What are you going to cook? Is it going to be like super fancy parties, or is it going to be like country parties? Like play with this thought again and again and again, and your mind will eventually understand that this is more important than your everyday worries. Meditation, obviously, also important. So you need to stay in this state. Now, what I want to say though is that it is not easy. It is not easy because remember how I said you could not have pleasure if you are not secure. So our mind is always protecting us, always defending us against any kind of threats that might come up. So you can be in your dreamy state, but if there are problems, your mind, whether you want it or not, will preoccupy itself with thinking about it all the time, because it needs to remove the threat before you can indulge yourself in dreaming. So, and also for most of us, our mind is used to be working on projects, even if those projects are not really important. They still, the mind will always be kind of working on something if it's used to it. So we just need to put a new habit, and the new habit will be the resourceful state. Now, so so basically you need to stay all the time in the resourceful state. So to sum it up, I think that's it. Let me see. Yeah. So to sum it up, not to sum it up. So if you're going to make wishes today, write them down. First of all, write down the most important wish, the one that is like it must, like you really the most important one for you right now. And then from that, you can move on and write other wishes. Now, from that first wish that you really, really want, that is just important, you don't even have to overthink. You can just observe what you're thinking. Like today, the whole day, what are you going to be thinking about? And that what you're thinking about is the most kind of challenging thing, the one that you need to find a resourceful state for. It could be relationship, could be popularity, could be success, could be like, for example, one of my clients said, I need a new job. I said, well, let's build your resourceful state. And she's like, a new job would be my resourceful state. I'm like, really? You're not that young. Are you sure you want a new job? I mean, are you sure this is the best case scenario? And she's like, yeah, I'm sure. I will have my insurance, I will have my 401, and I will have my my pay and the, like vacation, all that medical. So anyway, so she was 100% sure that was her resourceful state. Basically, I knew it was not. I knew it couldn't be. Nobody dreams about working 40, 50 hours a week just to have like peace of mind. Nobody. There's no such thing. So there is something behind it. But I let her be. If she thinks that it's her resourceful state, let it be. So she found a job, and then we had a consultation like 2 weeks after. So we had like checkups like every week, connecting to like for an hour, 2 hours, to just make sure that she's on the right track. And so I'm like, well, how's the job? And she's already unhappy. 2 or 3 weeks after, she's still in training, already unhappy because the job was not her resourceful state. It was, she wanted something more. I mean, and I knew that, but I didn't want to tell her because that's not right. I mean, I can tell her what I think is her resourceful state, but this is not really um, like this is not right. She needs to figure it out on her own. So apparently work was not her resourceful state. It's just the idea that it will create some kind of security was a resourceful state. Now then 3 weeks after, she's still in training. Her worry was, what if I don't make the goals? They will fire me. So it was the security that she wanted, not the job, you see. So it's different. Like about security, I know myself very well. I know what does it mean to want to have security. So anyways, so you need to find the resource state for yourself. So to sum it up, we as women, our strength is inside of us, our emotional, mental, and energetic state. This is our strength, and we need to make sure that we keep this energetic state as strong as possible. Now, we need to make sure that our energy is filled up with something powerful. Otherwise, if we have a lot of energy, that energy will start solving some issues, looking for problems. So we need to make sure that our focus is on something else, and that's where the resourceful state comes in. The resourceful state is the best case scenario for our situation at this moment, but not in what we have, but what would be ideal. So I don't know what would be ideal when I'm 65, right? But I know what would be ideal right now. So that's basically what is important, right? So we keep the resourceful state not only supports us, but everybody who is around us. So our family, men, especially men. If you're in a relationship, you have to be in resourceful. Excuse me. You have to be in a resourceful state. So, so why is it important to have resourceful state? Because we attract everything on the vibration, and we need to make sure that our vibration is as high as possible to attract the best case scenario as possible. So we might not change much in our life, but at least we will be in the best case scenario, but where we are. So I'm not planning to kind of move out from Miami, but I would want to live in Miami in the best possible way. So like really, and how I can get it? I can get it from my resourceful state. So how do you get it? You basically find out what hurts you the most right now. What is your pain right now? And then you need to figure out for yourself what would be best case scenario, like the dreamiest scenario possible. Don't analyze. Just imagine. If the God would tell you, okay, like do whatever, like choose whatever you want, anything for you, and so you can choose anything. You can marry a prince, you can become a queen, anything. So choose at that moment. Choose what would be your resourceful state. From childhood we are taught not to dream big, like don't be greedy, make sure you share with everybody, do this. So we're limited from childhood by our society and our parents, right? I mean, it's nothing wrong because they were taught the same way. So we're basically limited like this. Now we need to change it. This is the moment when we can dream seriously big, seriously, like big, like as big as you could, and then stay in that state. Allow yourself to linger in that state. Start with maybe 10 minutes, then to half an hour, then return yourself. Like I used to do. I used to put alarm in the middle of the hour, so like 10:30. I had an alarm just for that. So I have different alarms. But for resourceful state, I had in the middle of the hour, and I would stay 5 minutes in that resourceful state. It would really bring me back again and again and again. And then you solve every single difficult situation, not only difficult, any situation, any conversation with anybody from that resourceful state. So, for example, you have a difficult conversation with your man. Solve it from your resourceful state. I'm not sure what would be your resourceful state, but get yourself back in the resourceful state, and you will see the conversation will go so much smoother, so much smoother. Like, it would be completely different. I did it so many times. I check it so many times. I never call anybody until I'm in resourceful state. I never call if I need to solve an issue. Like I had to solve some taxes issues that came out of nowhere. So I brought myself to resourceful state, and then I called, and they were like, "Oh, I'm sorry, it was a mistake." They told me, "I'm sorry, that was very strange." So basically, a resourceful state is a must. It's a must, and we need to. And how are you going to keep yourself in them? You can do it through vision boards. You can do it through visualizations, meditations, affirmations, or anything like that. But you need to make sure that you stay there. Now, tonight, when you will write your wishes, make sure that you even write in those wishes from your resourceful state. Be realistic, but also expand yourself. Dream a little bigger. Dream. Learn how to dream a little bigger. I will tell you one more story to inspire you. It was 2020. I was already pretty strong. I was master Reiki already at that time. My energy was strong. But I was thinking very limited, right? Because of my surrounding, my friends, and everything. I was just barely dreaming, so to say. So I watched this movie. The movie is not very very smart, so to say. It's 365 days, but it impressed me. I will tell you how it impressed me. The guy there, you probably watch it. If you don't watch it, he's like an Italian mafiosi, and he just gave the girls 365 days to fall in love, which is a little strange, but fine. This wasn't impressive. That wasn't impressive. What was impressive is that he's a handsome guy, and he started buying her clothes. They started going to these nice places, and I'm like, you can live like that. You can live on the they would take he had a yacht, and they would travel this and that. And I was like, my God. So I started, when I was meditating, I started thinking about that. What if I lived like that? And within 3 months, not even 3 months. So I was very impressed, so impressed that I found unpublished manuscripts for the other 2 books, and I read them all, and I was so impressed. I spent that week, I remember at work, I was almost flying. I was not talking to anybody except for my clients. I was like completely in my world. I was in my resourceful state. It was ideal state. I never even dreamed that something like that could be. And I started putting myself in those shoes, right? Obviously I wouldn't want to be kidnapped by a mafiosi, but I was putting myself in the shoes of a woman that lives with such men. And it was amazing feeling. Really, the feeling was amazing. I was I was flying. So what happened then? In a week, I was supposed to go to I was going to go to Mexico with my friends, and I came there earlier, so they came after me for 3 days after something. While I was there, I was bored, so I went on some dating site, and I started just looking, checking out, and I met this guy who was very wealthy, so wealthy that I couldn't even imagine somebody like this could talk to me, with businesses, with properties, with everything, and young too. Now, I wasn't in a resourceful state all the time. I was in a resourceful state while I was reading those books and while I was feeling myself very comfortable. But when I was in a situation when I was not comfortable, my resourceful state started dropping. And then my friend came, and she's like all paranoid. Her husband is a police officer in New York, so she's like, no, you can't meet him. So basically, I sabotaged myself. I sabotaged myself really bad. I mean, we were talking with him after. He has a house here in Miami. The whole point is that you see, when I was in resourceful state, I was really raised. I could attract a man like that, really amazing man. Now it wasn't the end, so I couldn't. I didn't end up with that guy, but my life changed within. So I was only 1 week in that resourceful state. So I went to Mexico. Within 2 months, I was laid off. I got a good package. I started traveling, and I started meeting like really amazing men, really amazing. Not only men, but people. The circumstances, somehow everything was just so smooth for me because of that resourceful state. Then I followed again a little bit because I moved here. There was like little panic here. I didn't know what to do with myself. Like I knew that I had to do something with candles and something, but I didn't know how to place myself. So I dropped again. Then I started raising myself up again. So again, whose fault is this? My fault. I mean, I was not able to stay in the resourceful state. It's just, who I'm going to blame? Myself. If I would stay in the resourceful state, who knows how it will all turn out? I mean, my life did change, but when it started changing, I forgot to stay in the resourceful state. I basically started going with the flow and not always in trust. That's what happened. So I encourage you to find your resourceful state and stay in it constantly. Even if you want to stay constantly, you still will see the changes, the really positive changes. What if our ideal state is something we ourselves cannot believe right now? There, you see, and that's why we don't have it. But so I know, especially for women that have a lot of earth energy, it's a little hard to believe. Like they're so practical, they don't see um, um, like further than their possibilities. It's not. It's still not. Like it's not impossible. So you can, for example, say, okay, so it's okay, but let me dream about it. Nothing wrong. I will just sit here by myself and dream. I'm not going to tell nobody. Let me see. What if, like this? What if I will? Another good technique is to ask. I remember when. I think everybody knows it's like all over TikTok and YouTube. So I remember when you basically talking from your resourceful state to your present now. So you would say, I remember when I was employed and had to manage my budget. I remember when I had to save to buy myself something like this. But you already so wealthy right now, and you have this extremely handsome, wealthy man. So he buys you everything. You don't even have to ask. So you basically like, I remember when I had to do this, but so good that I don't have to do it now. So basically, but you need to start. If you don't believe it, your mind will never register. So you need to start registering it little by little in your mind. I mean, we constantly register in our mind things that might not happen, like fears, worries, like some weird stuff. Why not to register something beautiful, something amazing? And I encourage you all to do it. I mean, today is the magical night. If you want, watch my dialogue about manifestation. Also would be good. But today's magical night. In, like allow yourself this freedom of thinking what would be like if it would be the best case scenario, the best possible thing for me to happen, like how it would be, how it would unfold. It's just amazing feeling, and you will give yourself freedom. You will allow yourself to dream. And remember, if these thoughts are coming to your mind, that means that you're capable of them. You have enough energy and energy space. Like you don't have it enough right now, but you're close to it. Otherwise you wouldn't be dreaming, like I wouldn't be dreaming. I wouldn't even be seeing Ferraris or thinking about it if I'm not close to it like this. So if I would be close to, let's say, to Toyota, that's what I would be seeing and what I would be dreaming. So if something comes into your mind, you're already close to it. So dream and register it in your mind. Okay. If you have any questions, I have a couple of questions to answer here too. One is not a question. So one of my listeners listened to my The Art of Acceptance dialogue, and she said, "I'm so happy to use men. No, I'm so happy that we can use men to our advantage." Okay, this I wrote to her, and I will tell you, don't ever think like that. This is wrong thinking. We're not using nobody. Remember, we're working with our own reflection. So we're working with our own phantoms. We could not use anybody. We should think like this: we're partners. I'm helping him to develop. He's helping me to develop. Like I'm doing kind of a little favor for him, and he's helping me, and I'm helping him. We're just like together in it, like that. Don't Because if you will start thinking that you're using men, you will put men down and yourself a little up. That's never a good a strategy, because we're all on the same level. We're partners. We're equal. So men are never ahead of us. We're never below them. We're never ahead of them. So we have to be equal. Otherwise, if we will start thinking that men are below us, that's kind of men that we're going to attract. A man that are like spineless, that are that couldn't do nothing for themselves, that are that can just can give and never stand for themselves. You wouldn't want such man. I mean, how would you admire him? So the idea should be, I'm amazed by the man that are in my life, and I'm really enjoying it, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful that he gives me an opportunity to develop, and I give him the opportunity to develop as well. So that should be the thinking. I do hope you understand. We're not using anybody ever, because this is basically the man outside is the reflection of the masculinity inside, and obviously we don't want to use our own masculinity, right? So like that. So that was the first question. And the second one is, if my energy is dominant earth, I like men who are also earthy. I like their confidence. I like that they're so I'm translating, that's why I'm I like that they're confident. I like that they plan everything. I like that they have budget. I like all this. Shouldn't I be with this kind of man? So you can, and you know why you like them? Because you guys are similar. That's basically it. Now you can be with them, but will you develop? You probably will never develop to your highest potential. You will develop very little within that the same energy kind of. Yeah, so you guys will learn how to budget the money super good, to the point that you will save every penny, and you will be really wealthy by the time it's time to go. Kind of. But how will you develop air? How will you develop to be limitless, to be free, to just pick up and go, to just be like advantageous like this? Or how will you develop fire? Just decide to do something and do it right away. Just take actions when maybe actions are not the best way, or maybe, or without planning anything. Just pick up the towel and go to the beach without planning and writing everything and preparing sandwiches and all that. So how are you going to feel if you don't have enough water? So what usually happens to these couples? Usually they live like brother and sister, or like friends more, because they're so similar. They connect really good, but they connect like friends, like mostly. They don't connect on a deeper level, really. Now, so they will be missing a lot of energies. Like, for example, if it's two energy of earth, let's say they don't have no other energies, they will have no air, so they would be like maybe a little too heavy, a little too depressing. They will have not enough fire, so the actions will be hard to take. So everything is pre-planned, so it's like the whole life is pre-planned, and like corporate basically. And there won't be no water, so no pleasure, no emotions, no nothing. It will be too dry. So unless this couple has kids that are all these different energies, then maybe they can manage somehow. Or they have like friends, but still it will be hard for them to develop with each other and on it on their own. Usually in such couples, somebody started to cheat. From what I saw, from what my mentors see, this is what happens. Because, for example, if I don't have air, I'm fascinated by people energy of air. I see them and I'm like, especially men. I mean, it's like I'm drawn to them because it's something unusual for me. It's not something. Yeah, it's not comfortable at all. Not comfortable. I don't know how to talk to this man. I mean, it's like so difficult. It seems to me it's difficult, right? Even though it's not really, but I'm drawn to them. So if I'm dominantly water. If I will have a watery man, yeah, he will be super comfortable, but I will be drawn to that area. So if there would be an air guy on my horizon, I probably will leave my waterman for him, even if it would be just for a fleeting moment. At least I would feel something different. You know what I mean? So the same with fire. Maybe if there is a fire guy, fireman, they're like this. They big presents, flowers. They're like, okay, let's go here, let's go here. They are very action, like they don't mind to spend, to splurge. They're like, and and I have my waterman here who's like, well, yes, maybe, no, I don't, like, not sure. And I have this fireman now. My God, I would be amazed by him. So I want to say that it's better if we're looking for some energies that we're missing. They teach us something. We're learning something. We're in this world not to be comfortable. We're in this world to learn how to be comfortable in discomfort, to kind of to embrace other energies, to learn something new. So if to answer this question, you don't have to be with, let's say, air. Air is opposite to earth, right? They're completely, maybe a little disorganized, maybe a little too airy, maybe they can pick up and go. They can backpack traveling all over the world. Like they don't worry about nothing. They have no worry in their head. But for somebody like earth, maybe it would be too extreme. But at least find somebody, maybe water, or maybe fire, at least somebody who will help to develop. Or also somebody, like, for example, I have a little fire, I have a little earth, and I have a lot of water. So for me, ideal would be air, because I don't have air, so I would need somebody who would complement this part that is missing, somebody who would add this lightness to me. So like that. I wouldn't, I when I was analyzing this, I analyzed like my aunts, uncles. I went through a lot of people, and they were all married to similars. Like I have 3 aunts, and they all married. They're all energy of water. Oh no, and they all married to energy of water, something like that. So they're very similar. So, and did they get much in life? No, not really. I mean, they were comfortable. They lived comfortable. They have kids and everything. But they didn't become as maybe as successful or as great or something as they could have. Now, my grandparents on the other side, they were opposites. Like one of my grandparents were air, and the grandma was water. Yeah, it was not like an easy. I mean, they lived 60 years together, but it was not easy connection. But they really were good. Like they really achieved a lot in this after war time. But they did. They become successful because they were challenging each other by their presence. Without even challenging, they were challenging each other. The same on the other side was the same kind of, and they also were not as successful, but still were pretty good. So that's what I'm saying. You need to find somebody who teaches you something in this life. Being comfortable, you can be on your couch. Okay, so I answered that also. Yeah, I like you rewarding better partnership rather than using. Yes, always, always. Never try to put anybody down. Everybody, we're all equal. Especially that when you understand that you're playing with your phantoms, your reflections. I mean, would you want to put yourself down? No, you wouldn't. So like that. Especially if you are talking from your resourceful state, you will speak very good to everybody because you have the most perfect time. You already have everything. You're happy, so you kind to everybody. Okay. Any more questions, or we're all going to go and prepare for them for New Year? Let me just. So next topic on Thursday, it's going to be relationship with man, healthy goals. I'm going to re-record it. So we already had it, but I don't have it replay. So relationship with man, healthy goals. Now, what should be your expectations? Standards, so to say, not expectations. And next Sunday, we're going to talk about things and energy. I was before New Year cleaning up my apartment, and I decided that we need to talk about this, especially things and clothes that came to us through like generational um, through generations, right? So if we inherited something, we're going to talk about all that. We're going to talk. I will tell you some stories about the legends about the cursed jewelry and all that. So I think it would be amazing, and I think everybody should know this. A long time ago, I actually studied that and I was amazed. I did a huge cleanup in my place. I know I should have probably done before New Year, but it's whatever. It's cleaning can be done any day. Or actually, maybe not clean. Maybe you will decide to take something from your parents, or maybe from your grandmothers or grandfathers, something that is. And I will show you what I keep from my ancestors. So, how long should we stay in resourceful state every day? Oh my God, ideally 24/7. Ideally, it would be so, like, I'm telling you, when I stay in this state for that long, it's like everything is so smooth, everything's just perfect. Oh, I wanted to also give you one example. So I have a neighbor. He is single. He's pretty good. He makes a lot of money. I hope he's not listening to this. So I approached him and asked him for something, not from a resourceful state. And I knew that. I approached him like from a very weak and vulnerable state, very weak, not even vulnerable, very weak state. So this is what he told me. Like, even shameful that to admit this, but this is what he told me. He said, if a woman with me, she will never need anything. So I asked him for a favor. I didn't ask him for presents or anything. I asked him for a favor that he can do as my neighbor here. And this was his answer. So I didn't say nothing. I went home and I'm like, nobody ever speak to me like this. A man would never say nothing like that to me. Why did it happen? So I started thinking, and I understand why. Because I wasn't talking from my resourceful state, or even at least somewhat strong state. I was talking from a very weak state. And he felt it. I betrayed myself. He betrayed me. That's how important it is to be in resourceful state. So 2 days after, I kind of put myself back together. I solved some kind of stuff, and I saw him on the balcony. So I kind of waved to him as a friendly neighbor, and he wrote to me because I was strong already. So he wrote to me, "Hey, morning neighbor. Sorry, I said it last night, like 2 days ago, whatever." So what I want to say that your resourceful state changes the way your life is going. So ideally, it would be so perfect to stay like this 24/7. But again, sometimes we get pulled into these problems, into other people's problems, into some kind of news that doesn't even affect us anyhow. Like I will tell you, I was reading the news. The alligator ate a python, and I was laying in bed and thinking for half an hour, what if there will be so many pythons and alligators? I mean, are they going to do something about it? Like, I'm scared of snakes. Like, the weirdest stuff. Why would I occupy my mind with that? For the most part, we can choose what we're thinking about. Instead of thinking about the snakes and alligators, why didn't I think from my resourceful state? That I wouldn't even care about snakes or alligators at that point when I'm in my best case scenario. So ideally, the whole day. But I understand that it's not this is not as easy, right? So I would start with 10 minutes, but consistently. Do it consistently. Now, at one point, maybe when you have a special lot of problems, or when you're tired and your energy is low, your mind will be fighting you. So it will be like something like, you want to think about the aristocrat right now. Maybe we should think about how we're going to, I don't know, pay credit cards this month or something. So it's okay. It only means that your energy level is low right now. Take a bath, eat something, and then lay in your luxurious bed, and that's when you can start it. When you can start and think. So 10 minutes a day must. Half an hour would be ideal. Ideal would be half an hour in the morning, half an hour at night. But I want to encourage you to act from the resourceful state. When somebody tells you something and you get yourself in the resourceful state, remember, okay, I'm married to an aristocrat in France. I just came here for vacation. If this guy, or this girl will tell me this, how would I react? If I'm really married to an aristocrat and I'm leaving in 2 weeks, how would I react? So, and from there, your reaction would be completely different, and your response will be completely different, and you wouldn't really even care. Maybe you would just like, oh, okay, that's fine, let me go. I have other things in my mind. So This would be even more ideal, because we all can comfortably dream in the comfort of our own kind of corner, but it's harder to be strong when we are triggered, when we are interacting with other people. It's a little harder. So I would do that. I would practice that. Or if you have a hard conversation, like you know that it will be not so good, prepare yourself. Like stay in the resourceful state for a little bit, and then okay, so I'm ready to go and talk to that person, and you will see. Who knows? The conversation will be smooth. So like this, and try to increase it. So the first month, do like for January, just 10 minutes a day for now, and then increase it to half an hour, and then more and more and more. Once your mind will get used to kind of this daydreaming and pretending, kind of, it will be easier for you, and it will the mind already will like, well, maybe, why not to entertain this idea? Why not to allow it? So your mind will become your partner. At this moment, you have to kind of you have to allow the mind to tolerate you with your ideas. In a little bit, your mind will start a partner, and then your mind will actually um, will start advocating for that resourceful state. You will see, like my mind right now. When I'm not in a resourceful state, it's like my whole body starts fighting me. Like, why are you not in your resourceful state? Why are you thinking about this right now? And I know it because I know how I feel. It's like it becoming, and as soon as I'm like back into my resourceful state, it just I'm so peaceful, I'm so calm, I'm so good, everything is perfect. So also I should have mentioned it, but I also want to say your resourceful state will be changing. So don't believe that what you want right now is the only thing. It will be changing. It will be changing with time. So maybe you will maybe right now you want something, and this is your goal kind of. Maybe in 2 years it will be completely different. Might changed. So that's why I said find what is your problem right now. What is your pain right now? It will change. My next year, maybe like energy of fire people, they move so fast in life. Their energy, their resourceful state might be changing every 3 months. I don't know, like it's that fast. So again, but it has to be definitely inspirational. Definitely you need to feel. You will feel. Your whole body will feel it. Just imagine. I will tell you right now. You're married to a young, handsome, tall, successful aristocrat, French aristocrat. I mean, how would you feel? I think anybody would feel, at least some would good, like. So this like if you want to marry a surfer in Bali, I don't even know whether there are surfers, but then imagine you're married to this to Australia. So you married to this long-haired, like a blonde kind of guy with this nice physique, and he's just surfing, and he's just so amazing. He's a champion, like world champion, and you just there, his girlfriend, and everybody's like jealous because you married him. I don't know. I mean, everybody has their taste, so but just imagine. So it has to be super inspirational, super high, and you should feel love. You should feel pleasure. You should feel secure. You should feel everything. This is how you should feel. Your whole body should react. So yeah, that's it. I hope it makes sense. And I do want to encourage every single one of you to have your own resourceful state. Write it down. To start with, write it down. So it shouldn't be more than like a page like this. Not longer. Just one page. And I like that. So only one page. Don't write too much. Don't write like a whole story, because when you write in the whole story, it's like your mind is turning on to analyze. You don't need this. You don't need the mind's help to help you with analyzing. Allow you to dream. Allow you to dream big. Then your mind will start kind of chipping in with it. But for now, just allow yourself to dream. Don't because if the mind will start helping, then the mind will like, okay, so aristocrat from France. Well, we're not going to France. Then what? So I'm not going to get the aristocrat because well, maybe he will come here to Formula One for, like, in May, like this. So the mind will start looking for problems to solve. You don't need that. You just need a resourceful state to live in, and that's it. The mind will have to wait a little bit. You allow it anyways too much. So yeah, I think I would prefer a tech multimillionaire. Amazing. The guy doesn't even have to. He likes what he does. He doesn't bother anybody. He's very private. Yeah, they make a lot of money. Always will have money. So yeah, I mean, for me, it's not really, but okay. Yeah, I can see the attraction there. All right. So I hope I inspired you. Enjoy your new year. Don't forget to write your wishes. Write your resourceful state. I think I'm the only, the only, the only feminine coach and blogger who doesn't tell you to write wishes, but to do resourceful state, because this is more important. You see, when you are in a resourceful state, everything is like puzzle, comes into places and comes into places better. Like for example, before I used to be like everybody else. I used to write my wishes and then stress out how I'm going to make them come up. So I would either forget about them, I would stress about them so much that I would like that it drives me crazy. And I would get my wishes, I would. I'm stubborn like that. But how will they come? Will they come naturally good or not? Like I remember one time on my list there were pink and green candles. I don't know where it came from. Pink and green candles. I don't even buy candles that are not natural, but okay, so fine. Pink and green candles, and it was like the end of December. I still didn't get my pink and green candles, so I was fighting for them. I was like, where can I get them? Where? So I ran after work to Century 21. That was in New York, like supermarket, and there was so many people. I was staying in line. I found these pink and green candles. I stayed in line for I don't know how long. I was going home. It started to rain. I got all soaked wet. I mean, I was so miserable. I didn't even like those pink and green candles. I left New York. I never even burned them. So yes, I got my wish. Was it? Did it came easy? No, it came miserable. Why? Because I was not in a resourceful state. Now, if I would be in resourceful state, those candles, maybe somebody, my clients will always give me presents. Maybe they would bring me a set of candles, and they would be green and pink. So it could have been different if I would be in a different resourceful state. So yeah, those traditional goal settings never work for me. I realize it is because um, that is the masculine thing to do, and that is just not for me. Yes, the good thing about goal setting is that you keep your mind on them, but it shouldn't be as stressful. It shouldn't be as like very very focused. It should be more easy and more in pleasure and more like I really don't care. Like yeah, it's coming, but it's not a deal breaker, kind of like that. This is how it should be most of the time. Um, but we should dream though. Maybe not goals. I would say wishes. Write your wishes, because goals are something that we are projecting into our life, not from our resourceful state. For example, if I'm not talking from my resourceful state right now, then I will be like, okay, so um, like I don't know, is my apartment is going to be renewed, or should I start looking for a new one? So I would write a wish. I need an apartment in Miami for this amount, blah blah blah. This is not from my resourceful state. I'm just solving a problem that is not even present, that might not even come up. But I am already writing a wish to solve a problem that's not even here. Like, doesn't make no sense. Do you understand what I'm saying? Why not to dream about something from a resourceful state, right? So I live in the most beautiful apartment with like brand new, like everything, in the best building here in Sunny Isles, and like this. Why not to think from a resourceful state? Because if I would say if I'm a millionaire, right, and I have millions that are not tied up, are just like available for me, I can easily rent. 5 6 thousand dollar condo, right? Like easily, and they are available. I know they are available, so it's not like I will be left without. So we should set the goals, make the wishes and write the wishes down from our resourceful state. They will be more inspiring and important to us. remember, we attract only what gives us pleasure, only what makes us happy. The rest is just problem solving. So we could not attract something that is problem solving. We just attract more problem solving. That's it. So write wishes from your resourceful state. If the God will tell you, here, carte blanche, do whatever you want, wish whatever you want, then what will be your wishes? I bet they will be much more ambitious than what you're used to writing. So like that. All right. 1:20. So we're going to finish. I will see you all on Thursday at 7. We're going to talk about relationship with men, healthy goals, and next Sunday at 11, things and energy. Very important. I do ask you to come. The other one is very important too, but I already did it, so maybe some people have heard it, but I don't have it in replay, so it will be in replay. And things and energy are important, very important. We surround ourselves with what things and what things we carry from our families and all that, and we carry for our kids. So we need to make sure that they are energetically right, energetically programmed right, so to say. All right, I wish everybody happy new year. Let it be the most amazing one, and enjoy it. And I will see you in 2024. Tell me about your resourceful state then. All right, bye everybody.